undo your programming if you wish to live the best life that you can. So if you want to take control of your life and if you wish to live deliberately, it is in your best interest to undo the programming that has accumulated in your brain throughout the years. Okay, so the situation right now, in this moment, is that in your brain right now, there are thoughts which were not created as a result of your own independent thought or deliberation, but they are thoughts which were put into your head by other people. This happened when you had conversations with your family, friends, or when you listened to a video, or when you read a book, or listened to some music, or even played a video game. All of these things have an impact on your brain. Okay, just like the stuff that you eat has an impact on your digestive system, and it becomes part of you. The things that you consume mentally, all of them become part of you. They all impact you in one way or another. Some of them impact you by very little, some of them by a lot, but they all impact you. Okay, so by allowing these lingering thoughts to remain in your brain, to live rent-free, so to speak, you are allowing other people to have power over you. Basically, you are enslaved by their ideas that they put into your head, and this prevents you from living your life the way you want it. Okay, so in this video I'm going to talk about how this happened, how you were brainwashed, why this happens in general, and what you can do about it. So let's start off with the fact that this is like natural. This happens to everyone, and there are no exceptions. Okay, if you're human, you have been programmed in one way or another by things around you, your surroundings. Okay, so as the years pass and you grow from being a child to an adult, what happens is that the different interactions that you have with people around you impact you, and most of these interactions impact you in an unconscious way, so you're not cognizant of them impacting you. And even the person who is brainwashing you does it unknowingly most of the time. The people who do it knowingly, they're basically manipulating you into thinking that you into just changing in a way that they want you to change without you even realizing it. And that's manipulation that happens to almost everyone, but not that frequent. On a side note, that an even more infrequent thing is a person who is telling you to change directly, and they just present all the information that you need, and then they allow you to come to your own conclusions, to make your own decision. So say, for example, you do this, your friend comes to you and says to you, you do this stupid thing and I don't like it because of these reasons, and they here's the information, so I think you should change in this way, and now you make your decision. Okay, so now that is golden, actually, and that's pretty rare, and you should try to keep a person like that in your life for as long as possible, because it's a rarity that people can communicate directly in that way. But that was just a side note on manipulation and direct communication. So basically, as you go through life, your conversations, or the way people look at you when you do a certain thing, and your interactions just in general, slowly change you in tiny, minute ways. Some interactions have formative effects on you, but most of them just little by little change you. So as this happens, the old things that were programmed into you, they slowly get layered on top of each other. Okay, so the new things that enter your mind, they layer on top of the old habits and the thought patterns that were created by these different interactions. Okay, and so by the age of 25 or something, there's already like a Linux kernel's amount of code written into your head by other people that most of it you're not even cognizant of. Okay, and by the mid-20s, most people start to realize that, oh wait, I have these thoughts and habits which were not the result of my independent thought, and I don't like them and I want to get rid of them. And how did this happen? Well, they realize, oh, it was my parents or my friends or media or whatever. Okay, it doesn't matter. So the reason why this happens is it has a pretty simple explanation. I think it happens because it enables cooperation, and it's sort of allows a group of people to adapt really quickly to their surroundings. Like, we had to survive in the wild, and if you had some guy doing a dumb thing during your hunt, or kept making the same stupid mistake for no reason, you want to have some way to communicate, to tell him that, hey, don't do this because this interferes with our survival, basically. And so human brains are malleable because they allow us to adapt to these situations, and because cooperation is such a big part of being human, because basically a human who can survive alone in the woods forever is either a beast or a god. Not my words, some Greek philosopher said it, whoever it was. Because you cannot basically survive in nature alone. And I think cooperation is absolutely necessary for a person to be thriving. And so this malleability of our brains allows for such cooperation. Now, animals are in general, which have brains which are at least larger than a walnut. They are also malleable. Okay, even other animals which don't have such big nervous systems, I mean, they're all malleable. But humans are significantly more, plastic. There's like day and night difference, basically. Okay, you can train circus animals to do a bunch of tricks, and you can also, but you can possess people with ideologies so much that they sacrifice themselves over it, right? So we've all seen this happen. Your classmate or whoever reads the Wikipedia page for communism, and they're a communist now, okay? And then they read Marx, and now they want to free the workers or whatever. It's like they're letting this is amazing to me that some schmuck in the 20th century wrote a bunch of words on paper, and he's dead, he's long gone, okay? And his words now infect and keep infecting new people, and these people are allowing this guy to have who's nothing now, basically. They're allowing him to have impact on them, and oftentimes this impact is life-changing. Okay, so you don't want to be like that, basically. If you're a communist or whatever, I think it should be the result of your independent thought, okay? Not because you read Marx. But if you are independently minded, you will probably come to vastly different conclusions anyway. So this is not to say not to read books or consume media or whatever, but you must be cognizant of the fact that your brain is malleable, okay? So that's why it happens, basically. The good news here is that it's natural. It happens to everyone. It's part of being human, and you're not alone. The entire world is with you, basically. Also, some of the brainwash is good. Okay, when they tell you, oh, don't go near the porcupine because it stings, it's better to just listen to them, right? Because if you experience it yourself, if you make the mistake yourself, now you've had to endure the pain, and you've come to the same conclusion. Okay, so it's useful to be brainwashable, so to speak. So that means that some of the brainwash that you have in your head right now, some of it is good, okay? I would reckon that roughly 40-50% in an average person, for, that much of the software that's written by other people in their brain, that much is probably useful and good. So not 100, you don't have to 100% change your entire brain, obviously. For my case, it was more like 40%, although I haven't obviously done any sort of, I haven't finished reprogramming my brain, basically. But yeah, here's what you can do about it. Basically, right now you have this Linux kernel's worth of software written into your head. What you need to do is you need to do a large-scale code review of it and completely, overhaul some parts of it, change some parts of it, remove them, or add new things. Okay, and doing this is not easy. Because it took like 25 years or whatever to come to this point, right? And it happened through slow, consistent changes. And if you think that you can change it within a year, you're probably delusional, because it took 25 years to get you into this hole. Now it's going to take maybe 25 years to get you out of this hole, but probably not, because if you're deliberate about it, you can impact yourself really significantly. So I would reckon 5 to 10 years is how much it should take for an average person. But some people never actually finish it. You don't have to sweat about it. Obviously, it's just that know that if you're working towards it, you're becoming more and more independent and more deliberate in your life. Okay, so a few more things that you can do about this situation. Well, obviously pick and choose whatever stuff. First of all, you need to realize, you need to read the entire code for you to realize what you need to leave and what you need to eject. One of the ways to do this is to actually study or observe the people who have brainwashed you. Okay, and by the way, I'm not using brainwash in like a negative way. It's basically people who have impacted your thoughts. So observe them. If you read a book written by someone, for example, read that guy's autobiography. Maybe he was he had a thing for pigeons and he was a total weirdo. What would that make you think? Well, wait, were his ideas actually? Well, actually, that's sort of an ad hominem attack on the person, but in general, read their autobiographies, and you'll know the thoughts that came out of that maybe it had a negative impact on their life or whatever. So for you to be able to read the entire code that was written into your head, you need to know who wrote it. Okay, not always, but it helps. Okay, so for example, for lots of people, their parents were a huge influence on their life. For most people, the same goes for me, and they taught me really good things, lots of them, and they taught me stuff that I think is questionable or bad, that I've decided to eject from my mind. So by observing and studying my parents, I've basically seen how they might be stuck in their own ways, just like every parent is, of course. In general, they're good parents, right? So I've learned the habits and thought patterns that they have, and then that allowed me to see, so that's why I also do the same thing, because I learned it from them. Okay, maybe unconsciously, maybe they weren't deliberate about it. Maybe they didn't even say anything. They just did their own thing, and I observed them when I was a kid, and that impacted me. Okay, so that's one more way. And in general, it's like another good way to stop you from well, actually, not only do you have to sort of undo the brainwashing, but you also, so not only do you have to undo the brainwashing, but you also have to basically stop yourself from receiving new brainwashing. and you can do that by saying no, basically. So just don't consume media that you think, that you know is bad for you. Okay, this includes like trashy shows. This includes like I don't know, do people still read erotic novels? This includes porn and all the other stuff. If you know it's a negative impact on you, just eject it out of your life. Okay. The same goes for food. So if you're allergic to peanuts, you're gonna stop eating peanuts, of course, because it causes distress to your body. But lots of people don't realize that some things that they consume cause a slight distress in their minds. But you need to be cognizant of that. Okay. And the last thing I think that could be useful is to just be cognizant of the fact that you are very malleable, and have some humility about it. So basically, if you let your ego get in the way and think, oh, this is not going to affect me, or oh, just like some people have this stupid idea that, oh, ads don't affect me. They don't affect me. I'm the exception. No, you're not. There is no exception. Okay, it affects you. It affects everyone. Some people more than others, but it affects everyone, absolutely. There are no exceptions ever. So the same goes for people who you talk with, or the topics that you talk about, and stuff like that. So if you don't have hubris, and if you know how fragile the human mind is, that I think helps you in realizing how you might be programmed more and more. Okay, and that helps you avoid that. So that's what you can do about it. So the bottom line is, humans are basically slaves to their nature, and especially human minds. We like to think that we're smarter than nature. We like to think, well, we've conquered everything. We know stuff. But the truth is, no, we don't. And it doesn't matter that our airplanes fly, or we land on, or if we land on the moon or whatever. We are still animals, and much more malleable animals, in fact. And just like you have to be careful about what you eat, you have to be careful about what you listen to, basically. So yeah, good luck.